start with invocation prayer. Sahana Bhavatu.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 10. We'll chant the first 5 verses.
श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया न मे विदुः सुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं चाभयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः
Last week we started the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the yoga of supreme manifestation, Vibhuti Yoga. And we studied verse number 1 and 2. Correct? First 2 verses.
Yes, Amitji.
Now, before we continue with verse number 3, let's recap the main points in verse 1 and verse 2. So, in the first verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, the highest knowledge, which I will speak to you who are delighted. So, I'm talking to you because you are delighted to listen to me and for your welfare. So, we understand the qualities of a true seeker here and also who is a qualified teacher. So these are the 2 main points. So when Krishna says to you who are delighted, he is talking to all of us, a sincere seeker who is mentally attuned to receive the knowledge because he or she has devotion and also he is eager to learn it. There is spirit of inquiry. So that is a qualified student. And also teacher is qualified, guru is qualified because he is inspired to teach. Whatever knowledge the guru has, teacher has, he feels his obligation to share it with people because of sheer identification. How can you not share this knowledge of life and living? And also, he's talking to a student wishing his or her welfare. So that's the main point. What is in interest of the student, not what is in your interest. So I gave a couple of examples last week. We sent these guidelines. Like, don't listen to previous chapters because there is a systematic way you study this knowledge. It's a science. You can't approach it haphazardly, due to which we end up losing good many of students, people who register for these classes. It's unfortunate, but then they don't get the message. But as a teacher here, it is my obligation to follow that systematic way to this knowledge. Just one example I am giving you. So a teacher always has the welfare of his students in his mind, and you can apply this even in day-to-day life. Like any leader in any field, he has to keep in mind the welfare of his people, the people whom he is leading. It's a huge responsibility being a leader. So a qualified teacher is talking to a qualified student. And what is he teach? What is he going to talk about? Paramam Vacha, supreme knowledge, the knowledge of Vedanta, which will help you to deal with any challenge in your life. Therefore, it is called as supreme knowledge. Knowledge which explains the mystery of the origin, whether the chicken came first or egg came first, what is the source of this entire world, from where does the whole thing come about. So it's a mystery. So that mystery is explained in Bhagavad Gita. And the moment you understand with this knowledge, that's the thought flow here, you understand that you are ignorant. I don't know what's the origin of this whole world. Though the scriptures they are telling us the world which you are experiencing is nothing but a supreme reality. That's not my experience right now. That's what I mean by ignorance. So the moment you understand where you are, that you're ignorant and you have a long way to go to get to that truth, to experience that supreme reality, your spiritual journey starts. Otherwise, it will not start. It has to hit you. And that is a product of your own thinking. I can go on explaining, you can go on reading, but unless you absorb that message, unless you do deep thinking, that urgency will not come. Otherwise, you will be complacent in life. Everything is fine. It's like a dreamer. Dreamer is saying everything is fine, but the dream world is an illusion. So similarly, you and I have no clue of what is the supreme reality, and that's the message of Bhagavad Gita. So that's what Krishna means by I'm going to teach you this Paramam Vacha, the supreme knowledge. So these were the main points, three main points in verse number 1. I'm just recapping. And then in verse number 2, when he says, neither the hosts of gods nor the great sages know my origin, for in all respects I am the source of all the gods and the great sages. So, sages and gods in this context means highly evolved people just short of self realization. That's what it means here in this context. It's like a dreamer who is on the verge of waking up, but still hasn't woken up. That way you can understand. So we don't, again, going back to verse 1, same thought flow. You and I don't understand the pluralistic world is nothing but supreme reality. This is what any enlightened master is telling us, whether you study Gita, whether you study Upanishad, whether you study Bible, this is a central message. Because we are caught up in conditioned states. Remember last week that graph we showed, that PowerPoint we showed. What are these three conditioned states in which we are caught up? Anybody remembers? It has been mentioned innumerable times, but those who are relatively new, I would give them a priority. That we all are caught up in conditioned states, all of us, there is no exception. And the state which scriptures are talking about, they are talking about unconditioned state. It's called as Turiya, the state of self-enlightenment. Turiya means fourth. All these are synonyms. But we don't understand that because we are completely caught up and enmeshed in conditioned states. So, what are these three conditioned states we often talk about?
Deep sleeper, dreamer, and waker.
Who is that? Who gave that answer?
That's me, Amiji, Apurva.
Oh, okay. Yeah, correct. So these are the three states in which all of us are completely caught up. And these three states of consciousness, they are conditioned states. Conditioning brought about by our own desires. And these desires, they manifest as waker at one time, when desires are fully manifest. When they are partially manifest, that is the experience of a dream state. And when they are in unmanifest state, that is the experience of deep sleep, where you experience nothing. Something you experience, but that something is nothingness. So these three states are conditioned states, meaning they are not our original states. Our original state is Turiya, which is unconditioned, which we don't understand right now. How can we understand? Because we are conditioned. Because no conditioned person can understand he or she is conditioned, isn't it? So that is our life's mission, to get to the unconditioned state. So how do you get to that unconditioned state? Can anybody answer that question?
By elimination of our desires, working on our desires.
By elimination of our desires. See, Vedanta is like mathematics, 1 plus 1 is 2. So what causes the conditioning?
Desires.
Desire. So what removes the conditioning?
Removal of desires.
Removal of desire. So it's quite simple, it's quite straightforward. So therefore, when this message hits you, that you want to get to the unconditioned state, a true seeker has no value for what world has to offer. It's a byproduct of that understanding. You cannot fake it. Either you have value for the world, which all of us have. It's a question of more or less. The more ignorant you are, more value you have for what world has to offer. Name, fame, family, reputation, wealth, recognition, that's the world. You have that exaggerated value for the world. That shows your conditioning. To the extent you have value for the world, to that extent you are ignorant. So when this message hits you, you understand You don't know what is that unconditioned state, but you have developed that conviction that yes, I am caught up in this conditioned state, and my mission in life is to come out of this conditioning. The effect of that understanding is you have relatively less value for what world has to offer. You may have everything, best of everything. You could be successful, you could have best of health, name, fame, power, everything. But you maintain that spirit of inner abstraction while you are dynamically engaged in the world. So that's the product of your own deep thinking, your own understanding, as opposed to ignorant people who are completely attached to the world, totally attached to the conditioning, totally possessive about everything. So such people, they remain in conditioned state. So these were the main points in verse number 1 and 2. So are we clear? Group is clear?
I have a question about the deep sleep.
Yes, please.
So did you refer to that as an unmanifest state when you're in
Yeah,
deep?
when desires are unmanifest.
Thank you.
Yeah. Desires, I mean, it's a good question. See, desires, the word which we use is vasanas, is one and the same. You can use the word desires. So desires, they go through three expressions. They are fully manifest. Right now, our desires are fully manifest. So that is waking state of consciousness. When desires are partially manifest, that is dream state of experience. Why we say partially? Because in dream there is no proper logic and reason, because mind and intellect is not fully functioning. So you can dream anything. There is no logic and reason there, isn't it? It's a partial manifestation of desires. And when they are in unmanifest state, that is deep sleep, dreamless sleep. So desires or vasanas, they go through these three states of manifestation: full manifestation, partial manifestation, and no manifestation. So no manifestation or unmanifest state is deep sleep state. You okay with that, Brand?
So would the unmanifest state be similar to enlightenment?
No, no. Enlightenment is the state of no desires. Human being minus desires is a state of enlightenment, self-realization. Desires are there, but they are unmanifest. See, even terrorist, I'm magnifying, a serial killer is fast asleep, you know, but all these vasanas are there, desires are there in unmanifest form, you know. The moment he wakes up, all those vicious desires, they come up. So whatever positive desires, negative desires one has, in deep sleep, they go into unmanifest form.
Thank you.
Yes, Karen.
So to get rid of these desires, would we do that through study and reflection? Gain knowledge to learning how to control our desires, and that's how we ultimately get rid of desires, is through knowledge and application of that knowledge.
See, I mean, you know the formula. Desires are at three levels of our personality: physical level, emotional level, intellectual level. So, how do you purify? First, you need to purify your desires, then we need to eliminate our desires. Elimination of desires is a very high state. So, to begin with, we need to purify our desires. So, most of our desires are egocentric desires. It's not that all our desires are negative, but a good many of them are egocentric desires at any level of our personality. So to purify desires at the physical level, action level, you need to work unselfishly in life. To purify desires at mind level, path of devotion is recommended. And to purify desires at the intellectual level, the knowledge is required, the knowledge of scriptures. But knowledge is the bottom line of all three practices: karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Path of action, path of devotion, path of knowledge. So that's the way to go about. So you know that. So first comes purification, then comes elimination. And total elimination of desires is a state of self-realization or enlightenment. So that's the highest any human being can reach. So are we okay? Verse number 3, please.
यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते.
Translation: He who knows me as unborn, ajam means unborn, beginningless, anadim, and the supreme lord of the world, Loka Maheshwaram. He undeluded among mortals is liberated of all sins. Undeluded is asammudaha. Opposite of deluded is deluded, mudaha. So he who knows me as unborn is liberated of all sins. Now, whenever in Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita they use the word sin, or scriptures, any scripture for that matter, it means mental agitations created by unfulfilled desires. If you understand this, it will be very simple, very easy for you to understand the main message. You're a sinner. Sinner meaning what? All of us are sinners, full of mental agitations. It's a question of more or less. But that's not our original state. Our original state is sinless, state of desirelessness. So, sins means mental agitations created by unfulfilled desires. We have innumerable desires, and when these desires they are not fulfilled, they produce mental agitations. You want weather to be whatever, like nice and warm. The next 6 months, especially those who are in North America, if you don't like that, it will keep on producing mental agitations. You want to be honored all the time. That's your desire. When people do not honor you, it produces mental agitations. You want your children to listen to you. When they don't listen to you, it may produce mental agitations. So, mental agitations are produced by unfulfilled desires. Therefore, more the desires, more the mental agitations. Less the desires, less is your mental agitations. No desires, no agitations, which is the state of self-realization. So through knowledge and consistent efforts, you get rid of your desires. That was Karen's question. So briefly, please answered here. And what is that knowledge? Once you get that knowledge, what is the effect of that knowledge? You understand that Atman is unborn, he who knows me as unborn. So you understand Atman is unborn. Now we use the word Atman when it comes to the individual. When it comes to the totality, we use the word Brahman. Atman and Brahman means same. electricity in a gadget and total electricity. They are one and the same. It's just a usage, so it becomes easy. Gold in an ornament and total gold, there is no difference. Gold is gold. So, what is that understanding? You understand that Atman is unborn, Supreme Reality is unborn. It was always there. Everything happens in the medium of Atman. So, when you are born, Atman is not born, Supreme Reality is not born. When you die, Atman does not die. It is always there, it is unborn. Birth and death happens in the medium of Supreme Reality. Just as ocean is always there, it is unborn, it was always there. Fish is born in the ocean, fish dies in the ocean. Everything happens in the medium of ocean. So when fish is born, you can't say ocean is born. When fish dies, you can't say ocean is dead. It was always there. So similarly, whatever experiences we are going through, even in this lifetime, they happen in the medium of Atman, in the medium of Supreme Reality. And when gross body is dead, this is referred to as gross body, physical body. Gross body is gone. It is made up of 5 elements. So they go back to the 5 elements. That your subtle personality, which is made up of mind and intellect, we refer to it as subtle body. Subtle body is made up of mind and intellect, and subtle body is backed by causal body, which is vasanas. It's very simple. This physical body is referred to as gross body. Within this gross body is mind and intellect. Something is operating this body. What is that? Mind and intellect. It is also called as subtle body. And from where mind and intellect they come? They come from vasanas, which are unmanifest. So vasanas, they are referred to as causal body. So gross body backed by subtle body, backed by causal body. So when one dies, gross body is gone, that we can see. But the subtle body and causal body remains, and that is transferred to the next experience. So you are dead here, you are born there. So what is transferred is your mind and intellect. So you need to understand the principle here. So what you carry forward is purity of mind and clarity of intellect. Somebody may say, no, I don't believe in birth and death. It doesn't matter. It is based on cause and effect. This is what you need to understand. Focus on this life. Forget about the future lives. So therefore, if you do not put efforts to purify your mind and develop your intellect, same equipment you will carry from day to day. If you don't put efforts, let's say you are 35 now. So even at the age of 50, the state of your mind and intellect will be exactly the same. But if you put efforts, if you go on putting efforts every day, that's what we all are doing here, then definitely you will be a much better human being when you are 50. So that's what you will carry forward. Gross body is changing. Science will tell you. I think every 7 years, if I'm not mistaken, every cell in the body is replaced. Correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of doctors here.
I've heard
Villa uncle, is it a correct statement or a wrong statement? You have to unmute yourself.
I need to verify before I answer.
Yeah, perfect. Great. So that's the true doctor talking. So whatever it may be 5 years, it may be 7 years. The principle I'm trying to explain to you. Every cell in the body is replaced, but mind and intellect is same. So therefore, spiritual evolution is purification of mind and strengthening of your intellect. That's what you carry forward. So Atman is unborn. And that Atman, that supreme reality, is great Lord of the world. Loka Maheshwaram, great Lord of the world. Meaning supreme reality. And again, the word which we use in this context is pure consciousness. All these are synonyms. Don't get confused. Depends on the context. So, pure consciousness enlivens our entire personality. Without pure consciousness, body, mind, intellect cannot function, isn't it? So, it enlivens our perceptions and actions at physical level, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. These are the five organs of perception we have, and then we act with organs of action. So, it enlivens perception and action, it enlivens our emotions, it enlivens our thoughts, the pure consciousness. The short form is PAFT. It becomes simple if you just note down PAFT. So, perception, action, feeling, thought is enlivened by what?
Pure consciousness.
Pure consciousness, the Atman, the God principle in you. But the choice of action is in your hands. That is important. How you manage your personality, pure consciousness has got nothing to do with it. In layman's language, God has got absolutely nothing to do with how you manage your life. Now, you may use perception, action, feelings, and thoughts to become a great human being, a noble human being, or same perception, action, feeling, and thought you can use to bring about your own downfall and harm others. For example, negative feeling. You can entertain negative feelings like hatred and jealousy and anger. You have that choice. Or you may entertain a feeling of forgiveness, compassion. So that choice is given to you. Pure consciousness or God principle has got nothing to do with how you manage your personality. And the same pure consciousness which enlivens our body, mind, intellect, same pure consciousness is the substratum of the entire universe. What gives power to sun is pure consciousness. What gives powers to galaxies? It's fascinating if you watch science documentaries. Massive galaxies, actually they are moving. Even our own galaxy in which we live, Milky Way, is moving at whatever pace. What is it? What is that giant power which is pushing all these galaxies? What is the power which gives power to sun and the moon and the stars? So it is same pure consciousness which enlivens our body, mind, and intellect. And that pure consciousness is the core of our personality. That's what you are. That's what I am. That's what all of us are. So therefore, he uses the word undeluded. So those who are deluded, they don't understand that. What is your worth? You are that pure consciousness. You are that infinite peace. You are that infinite bliss. And what is that Mr. Infinite Peace, Mrs. Infinite Peace is doing to find happiness? You get a question. You are that seat of infinite peace, infinite bliss. That's you. That's your original nature. So, due to ignorance, where are you trying to find peace? All of us are doing that. It's a question of more or less. That's that delusion. So you may be the most brilliant person, but you could be completely deluded. So, where are we trying to find peace when you are the nucleus of peace?
In the external world.
In the external world, where it is not there. That's the problem. Like where rainbow hits the earth, there is a gold pot. Rainbow, what rainbow? Rainbow is an optical illusion. There is no such thing. All of us are doing that. If I get that, I'll be happy. If this happens in my life, I'll be happy. So everybody is trying to find peace, either at physical level, emotional level, intellectual level, where it is not there. When you are that nucleus of peace. So therefore he says, asammodaha, you have to be undeluded to understand this basic fact of life. And through knowledge, you understand that. It goes without saying. And the moment you understand this and you change your direction, it is the beginning of finding lasting happiness. But if you don't change direction, whole life you'll be groping in darkness. And most people they are doing that. This is how knowledge helps you. Yes, now I know where is that peace. It is within me. How do I get that? By removing my desires, by purifying my desires to begin with, and then working consistently to eliminate my desires eventually. That is how I get access to that infinite peace, infinite bliss, which is within me. So once you change the direction, that itself gives you peace. Are you following what I'm saying? As opposed to desperately trying to find peace in the external world, which nobody has found. You're not there yet. You haven't experienced that infinite peace. How can you, unless you get there? But you have understood with your own conviction, with this knowledge, that peace is within me, and that is where your spiritual journey starts. The moment you launch on this journey, instantly you will be a different person. More peaceful, more content in life, irrespective of what is happening around you. World will be what it is, full of challenges and ups and downs. All of us go through that. But in spite of all this, you will be a relatively peaceful, content, a fulfilled person who has understood the purpose of his or her life. And as you continue your journey, you are more enthused to pursue it. So it's like as you exercise, what happens? See, imagine you haven't done exercise and you get into exercise, like walking, you have neglected walking, and slowly you are trying to get your rhythm back. So you walk for a few weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month. What happens? What do you experience?
Pain,
Sorry?
pain from trying to get your muscles back.
Yeah, initially, definitely. But then let's say you slowly overcome that, then what happens?
It gets easier.
Say that again, Tim.
It gets easier.
Yeah, it makes it easier. See, I mean, you feel nice. So you are enthused to pursue it. Otherwise, why would you pursue it? Somebody has, another example, somebody has put on, let's say, extra 25 pounds. And then you start working hard, good diet, like proper exercise and all that, and you knock off 5 pounds, 7 pounds. What do you feel? How do you feel? You feel nice. So therefore, you are enthused to put efforts. Yes, let me knock off this excess 25 pounds I have put. So similarly, as you get established in this knowledge, relatively speaking, 10%, 20%, that's the context. That's the context of this discussion. You feel more enthused to pursue it because you experience that. Yes, I'm a peaceful person compared to what I was maybe 2 years back, 3 years back, 5 years back. Not that disturbed by life. There is some sense of fulfillment which I had never experienced in my life. Step by step, you experience. So, therefore, you are enthused to put more efforts. That's what it means. And that's the meaning of is liberated of all sins. We need to take it from relative level, meaning less mental agitation, less stress, less worry, less anxiety, less conflicts and confrontations in life. life becomes easy. There is no reaction at all. I don't know. Anyway, I have to convey whatever I have to convey. I don't say no. I haven't experienced anything. It's something you must have experienced. I don't know. Verse number 4 and 5. They are together.
बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं चाभयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं चाभयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथग्विधाः
Intellect, knowledge, non-illusion, forgiveness, truth, control over senses and mind, joy and sorrow, existence and non-existence, fear and fearlessness, also non-injury, equanimity, contentment, austerity, charity, fame and infamy, different kinds of characteristics of beings arise from me alone, from supreme reality alone. It's very simple concept. Already we have discussed. So the substratum of all our experiences is what? Brahman or supreme reality. Without supreme reality, body, mind, intellect cannot function. There cannot be perception, there cannot be action, there cannot be emotion, there cannot be thought. So supreme reality, Brahman, enlivens all our experiences, range of our experiences. He is just mentioning few. It is not a complete list. Millions of characteristics we can list. So whatever qualities you and I have, individual has, all these qualities, all these characteristics, they are backed by, they are because of what?
Consciousness.
Pure consciousness. If you go to Home Depot, the electrical department, there are thousands of lights there of various capacity. And there are sensors. If nobody is there, they are dim. But as you enter that electrical department aisle, what happens? Suddenly they start lighting up. So all these different bulbs, they are enlivened because of what? Electricity. So similarly, whatever is happening to us at any level of our personality, it is made possible because of Brahman, because of supreme reality. It's a simple message. But incidentally, we get to learn some inspiring qualities here. So I'm going to discuss them briefly, some of them, not all of them, because these qualities or these terms we often use. We'll keep on using it, throughout till the end of Bhagavad Gita. And of course, these concepts, they will keep coming up. So that time we will discuss them in detail. So right now I am trying to give you just the bird's eye view of these qualities. And incidentally, they are very useful in our day-to-day life. So the first quality he talks about is forgiveness, kshama. Now, without forgiveness, you cannot live a normal life. You will be a bitter person, especially when somebody makes a mistake or when you see some unrighteousness happening in the world, when you come across self-centered people or whatever, you know. You may not say anything, but it may bother you, or you may stew in your own juice. Or if somebody does something nasty to you, I mean, you could have a really tough time. So therefore, we say without forgiveness, you cannot be a peaceful person. And by wanting to forgive, you cannot forgive anybody. Okay, understood now. I want to be a peaceful person, therefore I must let go. I will forgive others. It's not possible, because forgiveness means growth. They are synonyms. Forgiveness means maturity. Forgiveness means wisdom. You understand what is that maturity, what is that wisdom. You understand that every human being, in fact, every human being is helplessly expressing his or her nature. The word which you use is vasanas. I am doing that, you are doing that, all other beings are doing that, bird is doing that, beast is doing that. So once you understand that, you know how to relate to them. That is what gives you mental peace. Otherwise, whole life you could be complaining, why this, why he is angry, why is so selfish, why there is unrighteousness in the world, why everybody cannot be. Well, how can everybody be a good person? Is not possible, because every human being has his or her vasanas, nature, inherent nature, that is different. So once you understand that, that particular person, he is helplessly expressing his wickedness. See, that gives you that peace. But how you relate to that person, that depends on the context. He may try to cheat you or something, that doesn't mean you get cheated. That is where the confusion comes. That you will not be bitter. Now, why did he try to cheat me? All these scammers, I don't know how many of us have been scammed. Sometimes they, yeah, I'm not asking, but I know some people who have been scammed. Fine, I mean, that's their nature. One thing is you develop hatred towards these people. I want to destroy these scammers, I want to take revenge. Mentally, you understand that they are ignorant. They don't know what they are doing. That does not mean get scammed. Do you get the difference? So therefore, forgiveness is growth. I repeat, forgiveness is maturity. Forgiveness is wisdom. What is that wisdom? You understand that every human being is helplessly expressing his or her vasanas. That gives you mental peace. No child can forgive another child. Two children are fighting, 5-year-old children, they are fighting, rolling on the ground. Mother goes to separate them. And then she says, okay, will you forgive him? Child A, child B, okay, you forgive him. What will happen? Simple example I'm giving you. No child can forgive another child. Let's say they are fighting over toys. Teddy bear they are fighting over, 5-year-old kids. And they're tearing each other apart, pulling each other's hair and whatnot, crying, and there's big commotion. And parents, they go and, why did you hit him? Why did you hit him? Say sorry, say sorry. They'll say, okay, sorry. You have to forgive him. Can one child forgive another child? Is my question. If you understand this, you understand what is forgiveness.
No, because they don't have the maturity.
Mm-hmm. Good answer, but there is something else. No child can forgive another child. Why? Is the question. Or I'll ask you, can they forgive? If you say yes, you must give your answer. If you say no, you must back it up.
They don't know the meaning of forgiveness.
You explain to them, show them the dictionary. Okay, and their language skill is far superior to ours. They grasp it at that age. So they rattle off 10 definitions of forgiveness.
Because they lack the intellect.
Mm-hmm. I repeat, no child can forgive another child. Why? Think.
Because they haven't had time to have the life experiences to understand forgiveness and what it means.
You and I have all the experience of life. Are we able to forgive? How many of us are able to forgive? See, if I get answer from you, you will remember it for the rest of your life. If I just rattle off forgiveness, give you 5 definitions, it is not going to help you. You will forget it. End of the class, it will be all gone. So therefore, in fact, I am giving the answer. When I am giving the child example, I have already answered the question. That's what I want somebody to catch it.
Because of ignorance.
Ignorance of
And-
what?
Because the child is not mature enough.
That we already discussed. It's a correct answer, but there is something else.
They're caught up in
ego.
they're caught up in the toy world.
Ego.
Ego.
What what? Children don't have ego.
They are helplessly expressing their inner desires and they have no control over it since the maturity is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
They're caught up in the toy world.
Their memory is not so strong that they can remember what happened previous day. Next day again they start meeting them and playing with them. They don't remember the things, that how we hold grudges and anger and emotions. But for kids, they don't remember anything. Next day, okay, they meet and they don't remember anything what has happened in the previous day.
So that means you're saying children, they are forgiving. I've seen them weeks and months together. The moment the neighbor's child comes, finished. No way mother can separate them. There will be a fight. Last
Concept of
chance.
mind.
Hmm?
Concept of mind.
Concept of mind. What is
Mind.
that?
No, mind.
Mind. Correct. So that is unforgiveness, no? So the question is why? Why one child cannot forgive another child? The answer is very simple, because both are at the same level. How can they forgive each other? How can they let go?
Correct.
So similarly, you and I are also complaining about others, or whoever is complaining. You keep on complaining. There is bitterness, there is dislike. When it is pronounced, there is hatred, there is revenge, because both are at the same level. So what forgiveness are we talking about? So therefore, we say forgiveness is not a practice. Note down this. Forgiveness is a state. By wanting to forgive others, you cannot forgive, because you're not at that level right now. And how you get to that level is by understanding of life, that I already explained, that every human being is helplessly expressing his or her vasanas. That vasana will manifest as thought, that thought will manifest as desire, that desire will manifest as action. Vasana, thought, desire, action. If your vasanas are kind, thoughts will be kind, desires will be kind, actions will be kind. If your vasanas are self-centered, thoughts will be selfish, desires will be selfish, actions will be selfish. So that is maturity, that is growth. So when you come across some unrighteousness in life, when you come across expression of selfishness in life. Most people, they become very bitter towards those people. Why these people? What have they done and all that? So forgiveness is mentally you understand. Follow me carefully. That person is a victim of his own vasanas. How you relate to that person, obviously that depends on the context. Why that person he's a killer, he's a murderer. I'm not saying it is what he is doing is obviously it is not right. But why you have to develop that bitterness, that hatred? You understand that he is a victim of his own desires. That doesn't mean let loose murderers on the street. It is extreme. There will be chaos in the society. But that doesn't mean you hate that person. I'm magnifying. Therefore, to explain the concept. So somebody may be nasty to you. It may happen at home. It may happen in your workplace. To understand that helplessly he or she is expressing his vasanas, and then you relate to him or her. But if you mentally don't understand this, the only victim will be you. You will be full of bitterness, hatred, mental agitations, and whatnot. Therefore, we say forgiveness is not a practice. It is what?
A state.
How do you get to that state? When you are established in the higher values of life. No way it is possible. Therefore, I give example of two children. No child can forgive another child. But when the same child grows, let's say within a family, there is a boy of a 4 or 5 year, his age is 4 or 5, and there's a sister who could be like 10 or 12. So they may fight, but there is a little bit of more maturity, you know. So end of the day, she or he will say, okay, let him have it, let her have it. But if both are at the same age, there is nothing you can do. There is no growth, there is no maturity. Exactly the same principle applies. So therefore, it's a fascinating quality. Therefore, I spent so much of time. Forgiveness. So we'll continue next week. We'll study few more qualities. So maybe 6, 7 qualities I have shortlisted. So any quick questions from what we covered today? It's time up now, 10:29. 1 minute left. I can give you a few minutes if something is not clear. Okay, good. So everything is crystal clear to everybody. Radha, do you want to make a quick announcement about the local public lecture we are having? Of course, they will get an email in a day or two, but since we have some time, just a quick announcement about what is it all about.
Yes, Amity. We have an upcoming public lecture by Amitji in the local temple in Troy, Michigan, and it will be an in-person event. It will not be online. It will not be broadcast. So the lecture is about spiritual wellness, where Amitji will talk for 2 days on November 10th and 11th, Monday and Tuesday evening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Bharatiya temple. So it will give all the introductory concepts and a bird's eye view of the Vedanta. So it will be a great opportunity for the class members to introduce to the local community this topic and this subject. You will receive an email for the next 2 days and also the WhatsApp message. If you want to join our WhatsApp community, please request. And please spread this word to anybody who is living in the local area. It's in Troy, Michigan, southeastern Michigan. You are welcome to attend and bring your friends and family and introduce them. It is open for all who are 15 years and above. Thank you.
Okay, so have a wonderful weekend and see you next Saturday.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you, Amiji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
You.